So today is 8th of May, and it's been quite a few weeks that the conflict had started. So now we have enough time to reflect on the transactions registered in the Dubai Land Department to see how the market is doing. I've been hearing a lot of news that the Dubai market has crashed and the properties are going much below original price, like 20-30% below. But if we start looking at the data of the actual transactions that have happened, then we see the true picture. So what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to open up all the registered transactions in DLD from 1st of April to 7th of May. So that is about 5 weeks of transactions. What you see here, this is the number of the resale transactions. Although the market in this period had more than 16,000 transactions, but only 4,100 transactions are the resale transactions. And I'm only gonna study the resale transactions. So I spent the whole day today to overlook all these 4,119 transactions and see where are the prices moving in all these areas, all the projects from all the developers. Why I have not taken the off-plan transactions? It is because how it happens is that if someone has bought from the developer, the OCUD is registered much later in the timeline. So let's say if someone booked a property in the month of January, maybe the OCUD was issued in April. So it is not a true reflection whether that transaction happened in the month of April. So we are actually having a lot of backlog of off-plan transactions which executed before the conflict started and now are being registered and shown in the month of April and May. So I have totally foregone the off-plan transactions. I am not studying them. I'm only studying the secondary transactions. Secondary can be either in the ready properties or can also be in the off-plan resale properties. Out of these total 4,100 transactions, 80% roughly were in the ready resale segment and 20% were in the off-plan resale segment. Now, I studied all the transactions and I have got some really cool insights, where the prices are moving. In fact, I was in fact a lot of surprised to see that majority of the luxury segment of the market didn't have much impact. Like I'm seeing the resales in the properties which are more than, let's say, 1 million US dollar or more than 3.7 million dirhams. There are barely any transactions, which are going below OP or even at original price. But yeah, in some of the projects, I have seen that post the conflict, there is an increase in distress deals where the transactions are going much below the original price. So I'm going to share those trends in today's video on those projects where I have identified the reducing prices in the transactions. So here is one example to show you. This is one project in Azizi Rivera in Medan. So this project, Azizi Rivera beachfront, has seen a lot of distressed transactions in the month of April. So this is one example. Let's say this studio was sold by the developer in the year 2024 at a price per square feet of roughly 2,400 dirhams per square feet. And now in the resale, it has gone minus 19% below original price, making the price per square feet to around 1,930 dirhams per square feet. So here, in this project, this unfortunately has been recently delivered. Probably a lot of the investors bought the renders and the renders showed that there was supposed to be a lagoon with the beach, but the lagoon is still to be built. So this project is ready and I'm seeing the studio transactions in the month of April, and mostly all of them are going much below OP, and these are the real transactions. I think the Pricing for this project was somewhere close to 1900 to 2000 dirhams per square feet. So you can say it's a correction which is happening in this project. Another one that I found particularly interesting is Magistine. It's a project by the Mac Properties right in the Business Bay, where you have Bay Square, where you have a lot of offices, and downtown is much close by Dubai Mall as well. So this is a ready building by the Mac, and I'm seeing since the month of April, lot of negative transactions happening below the original price. So now the price is, roughly going between mostly 1400 to 1500 dirhams per square feet for this project. And this is another project which is almost recently completed around this time. This is by Dayar. It's a tall skyscraper on Al Khail Road, Regalia. This was launched with a very attractive payment plan. I'm getting mixed transactions here, recent transactions. You can see maybe some people are trying to take the exit. These are multiple resales, so probably they bought at a higher price and now they later realize that they might not have the upside further. So they resold at a distressed price to their original price. But yeah, some people are panic selling, like you can see this one bed going for 600K, whereas probably a little higher floor unit is going for 1.35. So one or two of these you get sometimes, but we have to see how this project will perform in the coming time. Another project in Business Bay, this is Trillionaire Residences by Bengati. So this was delivered a few months back, and I'm seeing especially in the studios they are going much below original price in the month of April. So probably if you are someone looking to find a studio distress deal, you have a higher chance to find in this project. Right now, I don't have a deal in this project, but I have a few small ticket size distress deals below original price. You can contact me. I also have a WhatsApp channel where I post on a regular basis some grade A resale deals. Here is the link. You can scan this QR code and you can follow all the amazing deals which are coming on the market. But at this stage of the video, you must be thinking, oh Ankit, I can see so much distressed deals. But let me tell you, I analyzed more than 4,000 transactions and I have just found maybe about 6 7 projects in the whole of Dubai where I actually could identify that maybe there are a lot of distress deals happening. Maybe those people didn't buy at the right price. So what I personally see is that the market correction is happening. It is not a conflict induced distress deals on the table. So probably these projects were originally priced higher and now people have realized and they want to take the exit of their capital, maybe put their capital somewhere else. So they might not be distressed sellers. They have just realized that okay, we might not get a higher price later on, so better take an exit and use that capital somewhere else. Continuing with Bengati, now we are moving into the off-plan resale segment, looking into the projects which are still under construction. Bengati has one project called Bengati Elite in Dubai Production City. In the month of April, I'm seeing a lot of distress deals happening in this project as well. Probably this project was priced higher than the market price of that area, IMPZ, and now it's catching to the market price of that area. And then this project, Bengati Hills Views, this is also under construction in Dubai Science Park. I just saw a couple of distress deals happening. You need to understand in these projects, there are a lot of units. So I'm not saying that every owner in that project wants to sell at distress. But when the number of units are so high, of course, the probability of finding those 2 3 odd distress sellers becomes higher. Now, moving on to a much higher price segment, if I talk about the more premium apartments, then we have downtown Dubai Creek Harbor. In Dubai Creek Harbor, not honestly any distress deals, everything was going positive. Only in this particular project, Creek Waters 2, this is just getting delivered. Maybe a couple of sellers want to take an exit at a loss, and the loss is also not too much compared to the other properties. And now moving on to the townhouses. Now in townhouses, this particular project kind of surprised me. This is the Fields in District 11. It is one of those very few communities, townhouse communities, and a little bit affordable, which is close to the downtown business bay area. And I have seen recently a lot of the distressed deals. But you need to understand, maybe these two were sold. I'm not sure why this is not the kind of market price for the four bedrooms. Getting a four bedroom at 2 million, it doesn't sound realistic. But if you see this deal, this deal was already sold multiple times, and maybe the last seller bought it at a really high price, and now it has kind of gone to around 3 million dirhams for the three bedroom. Then in townhouses, one project that caught my eye was the Mac Islands, the phase one. So this is a relatively new project, like launched maybe last year, and a lot of people bought these townhouses, and I'm seeing a lot of people exiting soon, and they are taking a loss. So this doesn't show that there's no potential in the Mac Islands. It's gonna be a really good community in the future, and it will make money to the investors. How the Mac Lagoons is making money. This kind of shows how panic selling is happening in few pockets of the market. You need to understand the Mac Islands is predominantly sold to international investors and majorly to a lot of the people in India. And we know the news, how the Indian media is spreading so much negativity about Dubai real estate and all this whole conflict situation. So maybe a lot of people, they are thinking to take an exit now and they don't want to continue, so they are selling at distress. Moving from the Mac townhouses to Imar townhouses. So this is Rivana in the valley. A lot of people have been selling at profit initially, but post March in April, I'm seeing that the profits are losing. Couple of deals at original price, one below original price. So it's not that the prices are going down in this project, but now with the conflict, with the different situation, maybe you might find luckily a seller who want to give at original price. I personally have a couple of deals in the valley where sellers are okay to sell at original price and take an exit. So it's a great deal. Initially, most of the people, most of the investors, like I would say 98% of the investors in the valley have definitely exited by making a premium. So as I said before in the video, most of the distressed deals, or I will say most of the distressed transactions, are actually being executed in the entry to mid segment of the market, like up to, let's say, 3.5 to 4 million. Beyond that, there are one or two off transactions, you might see. Like I saw a few transactions which I've shown here. These happened in the month of April, and when I saw these numbers, I was personally shocked. So these are like the deals, where the buyer got lucky. Honestly, the seller really, really needed that money, that capital, and he took a big loss. Like you can see, Address the Bay, one of the flagship projects in Ima Beachfront, going -15, -20. Address Bayview, four-bedroom penthouse at -36%. That is almost more than one third of the property value. And a five-bedroom in Farm Grove, detached villa at -18%. So these deals sometimes come up, but in this video, I've shown you some projects in multiple transactions. So I only choose those projects where in the month of April, I had seen multiple distressed transactions, which kind of shows that maybe the market price is correcting in that particular project. But if you see these projects, there are one or two transactions, but others are not going distressed. So this is like, the price is not correcting generally like in that particular project. So if you have liked this video and have learned a lot on how the market is moving forward in Dubai real estate, please give it a thumbs up and put in your thoughts in the comment section. And also do subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to be more active and trying to post a solid video every week. So if you would subscribe, you would keep getting the notification of all my new videos as we track the market going forward. We have just analyzed the transactions for the month of April. I think we would be able to actually understand the situation of the market probably by the end of this quarter, by the end of June. Then we can say, that how many distressed transactions are actually happening right now. Whatever I showed you, if I take the overall 4,100 resale transactions, probably even less than 100 were below OP. Majorly, a lot of them were selling with premiums. So you need to understand the cycle of a secondary transaction. Someone, when they sign a Form F and MOU, they generally get about 1 month to 2 months of time to close that transaction. And once that transaction is transferred in the trustee office, that is when it gets registered in the DLD database. So there is a brief time period which has to be passed. So if, let's say, people are picking up some deals in this period post the conflict, let's say they choose something and sign the contract in the month of March and April, probably those deals will be registered in the month of May and June. So I think by the end of June, once we study more on the resale transactions, we can actually judge how the market is going, whether it is crashing or whether it is correcting. So this is Ankit from Experience Realty. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon in another one.